Hey everybody, Fred B, Inside Muay Thai. This is going to be a part two of do's and don'ts. So when I say do's and don'ts, again, I'm making suggestions. You take it as you wish. This information that I'm giving comes from the learning that I've had, the instruction that I've received from teachers involved in Muay Thai for years, and all of them, from at least dating back to the 60s or 50s when they started, and most of them champions in the 60s. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing that I want to mention, I want to talk about now. This is for people who are new to Muay Thai. If you're planning to come to Thailand, or even if you're not in Thailand. So this first situation has to do with the Wai Kru. And I saw this happen one time, and this is why I want to talk about it. During the Wai Kru, okay, you have your Wai Kru, and then it continues into Ram Muay. Ram Muay is the dance. Okay, Wai Kru is paying respect to the teacher, and part of that, the second part of Wai Kru is Ram Muay, which is the Thai dance. So during the Wai Kru, the first thing that the boxer will do when the referee gives the signal and the music starts, the boxers will start their Wai Kru. The first thing they'll do is they'll go from corner to corner, the four corners. All right, and I'll talk about this more in detail in my video Inside the Ring. Okay, so you have a boxer that's going from corner to corner. Now, what I want to mention is some boxers do not do the Wai Kru, and this is usually for foreigners. They don't wish to do it. They're not comfortable for whatever reason. They don't do the Wai Kru, and they'll just stand. They'll just stand in their corner, right? So a boxer, when the referee gives a signal from his corner, whatever corner he's in, the red or the blue, okay? So let's just say I'm in the red corner, and the referee gives a signal, and the music starts. The boxer will turn, pay respect in his corner, and he'll go from corner to corner. And from here, after he reaches the fourth corner, okay, then he'll start circling in the middle of the ring to continue the Wai Kru. Now, what I want to point out is this one boxer that I saw, he didn't move, okay? So, pay attention to this. If you do not wish to do the Wai Kru, you're standing in your corner. When the boxer comes around to your corner, be respectful and step forward so that he can pass by, pay his respect, and then move on. Once he moves on, you go back to your corner, you start preparing, talking to your coach, drink your water, whatever you want to do. Now, this is a little bit different when the boxer finishes the four corners, comes to the center of the ring, and starts to do the Wai Kru here in the ring, okay, to pay respects. They'll go through their routine. They'll do some things most of you are familiar with, you've seen before. Okay, whatever he may do here. Once he stands up, okay, now he's beginning Ram Mui, which is Thai boxing dance. When he starts to do his Thai boxing dance, whatever he may do, he's going to go from this, he's going to go forward, back, side to side. Now, sometimes a boxer wants to scare his opponent, intimidate, whatever his reasons may be, his beliefs. Going back to war times, many cultures try to put a scare into their opponent. So, at this point, when the boxer is performing Ram Mui and approaches your corner, now you don't have to move. It's up to you. He's going to perform something, shooting the arrow. Okay? He's going to perform some. Okay? He's doing this towards your corner. At this point, you don't have to move from the corner. If you don't want to watch, you can turn away, or you can move away from him. He's going to stay there and perform to your corner. Right? He's trying to hex you. Trying to put some bad luck on you. Okay? You don't have to stay there. You can move over this way. You can turn away. But you don't have to move from your corner at this point. But remember, when another boxer, your opponent, is going from corner to corner at the beginning of Wai Kru, it is very important to understand you should have respect for that part of the Wai Kru and then step forward and allow him to pass behind you. All right. Next thing I want to talk about, MMA fighters. If you're an MMA fighter and you also train in Thai boxing, one thing I just want to point out, this isn't a do or don't. It's just something for you to think about. If you come to Thailand, you must understand that most of the gyms, some gyms have MMA. However, just because they have MMA doesn't mean that the trainer or the coach understands MMA. I'm telling you, their mind, they're training in Thai boxing, and I can almost guarantee you 99%, even if you're an MMA fighter, at least 99%, they're preparing you for a Muay Thai fight. Everything they're showing you is to prepare you for Thai boxing fight, to go in the ring for Muay Thai, or any other event that you might do, K1, any other stand-up combat sport, okay? So one thing that I want to mention is, I've seen this many times, MMA fighters are coming and they're training and they practice, they're practicing their kick, and the kick is coming up. Okay, so one thing to be concerned about is the angle at which you're kicking. The trainer's going to hold the pad, and you know, you've seen videos, and they're going to have you do where you're bouncing. Okay, that's great for aerobics, right? But in a real fight, you're not going to kick at this angle. Okay, the boxer knows what he's doing. He's going to crush your leg with his elbow. All right. So a trainer that has you kicking like this is not necessarily the best idea for MMA. Number one, you're standing up too straight, and number two, whether it be MMA or self-defense or any other combat sport, you're not going to kick at this angle. So to me, it's maybe not necessary to train that way. You have to find something else, or have your own trainer change it up a little bit, right? Your angle should come here, okay? Should be coming here. Now, one thing I will tell you, the reason that they train people in this fashion, because here in Thailand, in Muay Thai, it's looked at as something good when you kick here to the ribs. So if you can get that kick, and even still, that angle is not the same, right? It's coming more, it's got to come more this way, not like this, right? And you will see videos, you will have, if you come and have training, where they're holding the pads here, and your foot is basically coming up, straight up, almost like this, but you turn the body a little bit, right? So if you look at yourself in the mirror, if your kick comes around the shoulder, that's not a good angle. You should be coming toward the chin at least, all right? If you're coming up and you're trying to hit the rib area, you should be coming up about here. So look at yourself in the mirror, put your arm out and turn. Kick like this, you kick yourself in the elbow, which is exactly what a good opponent's going to do, is bring his elbow down and crash to your chin. So hold your arm out, or you don't need to hold the arm out. It's coming to the chin area, all right? And as you can see, the foot should cover the face. Okay, so let's move on now. Two more things I want to mention. Some people refer to this as a switch kick. There's nothing in Thai boxing that translates to a switch kick. All right? Sometimes you might hear someone say prien. Prien means to change, right? But there's no switch kick. I think possibly that developed because no one knew what it's called or what someone might be doing, and they just put a name on it. So what I'm talking about is this. You'll have a boxer, or you have people in the stands. They'll normally kick, right? But they want to kick with this leg. They want to switch and kick with the other leg. So they'll do this. All right? I asked two of my teachers before, both Abhidet Sithiran and Put Lolek are the two other teachers that I had. And I asked them both about this. Why? Because they were very famous for their kicking. All right? And when I mentioned that, one teacher kind of laughed, smiled. The other teacher told me, just like that, all right? And so at my house, he stood up and had me do what he thought was better. And, we had dinner on the table, but he didn't care about that. He wanted to show me. And so that was about a good 5-minute workout before we even started eating. So this is not such a great thing to do. You're hopping in the air, number one. That means you're leaving the ground. Okay, just for that second. That's all it takes for an opponent to catch you. Some people do it with the knee as well. I think maybe they're just trying to be stylish, but that's not a smart thing to do. Okay? If you're here, and you usually kick with this leg, you want to kick with this leg, you then have to do just a speed kick. Just step up. Just step with this foot. Okay? Simple as that. Now, if you're looking for power, you have to then switch your guard and then kick. Okay? So, refer back to do's and don'ts, part 1, where I talk a little bit about footwork. 2 or 3 different types of footwork that you can use. All right? So, that's not a good idea. No switch kick. Okay? The last thing I want to mention is a face kick. A face kick. Okay? Ba talub pak. Ba talub pak. And what that is a push kick. Your foot is literally pushing someone's face. So I'm going to mention that that's not good in Muay Thai and how the foot is considered in Thai culture. So what happens is that the kick is performed like this. Okay? Some of you may be familiar with an axe kick. All right? Coming down with the heel. Right? Now, the only difference is you're not going to lift straight up for this face kick. It's almost as if you were going to do a push kick, but your foot's going up higher, however high you need to go to the person's face, and your foot is going to slap and press down. I'll do a small version so you can see. It's going to come here like that. Your foot is coming this way. Smack down like that. Smack down like that. Excuse me. In just a moment, I'll give you a demonstration on the bag. So, in Thai boxing, it's considered disrespectful when you kick someone in the face with the bottom of your foot. Not this, okay, not here, but if you use the bottom of your foot to the face, it's considered you show no respect to your opponent. Maybe he trash talked you or did something to you, cheap shot to the groin, whatever. Hit on the brake, and you decide that you want to pay them back. So, in Thai culture, in Thai boxing, the bottom of your foot to the face is a no-no unless you want to show your opponent that you don't give a darn about him. So one thing let me mention for Thai culture, when you are in everyday life and you're sitting, okay, Thais consider the foot the lowest part of the body. Well, we all know it's the lowest part of the body, but they consider that very low because the foot touches the floor. The foot touches the floor and your feet are dirty. So when you're in Thailand, anywhere, a temple, someone's house, doesn't matter where. Do not sit like this, okay? And your feet are pointed in the direction of someone or something important, such as a statue, a shrine, and especially any picture or any representation of the royal family. Don't sit like this. You might be, this is what you do at home and you're comfortable. Or maybe you sit and just relax, right? But don't let your feet point to someone. Also, if you sit cross-legged, that's okay, but just make sure your foot isn't pointed directly at someone. And trust me, someone will be watching. They'll excuse you because you're a foreigner, but it will look just so good, the fact that you don't do it. Like, wow, you took time to to learn someone's culture, not to try to change it. All right. So usually ties will sit. If you want to sit like this, that's fine. If you can maintain and sit this way for a long time, make sure you have some pad. All right. A lot of Thai homes and places you go to have a tile floor, and it's a bit rough after sitting for a few minutes. But the normal way for Thais to sit, both male and female, is that they will sit in this fashion. Okay? And if you're not used to that, you can support yourself here. It's okay. It's not a formal situation, then it's okay. If it's formal, this might look kind of lazy. Okay? Or especially, this is okay also if you are talking to a monk or talking to an elder, right? And politely place your hands in a wide form, right? This is okay, it's nice, all right? But generally, Thais will just sit like this, okay? It may be good for you to do at home. Try to sit up straight sometimes, okay? Now, what if I wanted to switch? Okay, I've done this myself. Had to remind myself, don't do this. Because your feet just pointed to someone. Okay? So if you're sitting here and you would like to switch, you're tired or stiff, maybe this foot's hurting, I don't know. You could very nicely, quickly just do this. Okay? That's okay. I've done it and I feel good about it. So what else could I do? This is a bit much. Kind of maybe you're disturbing the situation. Okay, so just nice and easy. And then relax on this side. All right, hey, let's move over to the bag. And I want to give you a quick example of that face kick. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. So this is the face kick or face push kick. All right, Batalu pa. So again, as I was mentioning, your foot's gonna come up, extend. Okay, you have to get the foot up, of course, high enough to the opponent's face. And again, this is not a knockout shot. Okay, this is to score points and to let your opponent know that you're not too happy with him or you don't care. All right. So the foot's coming up and slapping down. Like that. As I mentioned before, almost, close to an axe kick as the foot comes up. Okay. You can also do as I said, any kick using the bottom of the foot. Okay. You might even do a push kick. Okay. Normally a push kick is here to the midsection, but if you take it up to the face using the bottom of your foot, it has the same idea. You're telling the opponent or you're telling the crowd you don't like this guy or girl, you're not too happy. All right. So again, it's here. Okay. So be careful when you're doing it. All right, that's going to do it. Thanks again for joining this video. Check out the other videos. If you have any questions, let me know. And we'll be doing our best to inform you on what really goes on inside Muay Thai.